So we're going to start with Siri, and let me grab my phone here. You hopefully already have met Siri, but we'll find some additional things we can do with Siri. But in case you haven't, there's a couple of settings, even if you are using Siri, that maybe can help you get a more enriched experience. So let's go into settings. It looks like this, the settings app. Yours may not be where mine is, but it should look the same. Yours may be up here somewhere. But click on settings, and I'll start at the top so we're all in the same place. And we're going to scroll down to Siri and search, not too far down. It's right here, looks like a little new agey kind of symbol, Siri and search. And there's three options at the top. If the first one is not turned on, don't turn it on now. Because this allows you to talk to Siri just by calling her name. But when you first turn this on, it's going to take you through a series of question and answers so Siri can learn about your voice. So you probably don't want to do that during class. But once you've turned that on, then you can just say her name to wake her up and address her. This button allows you to access Siri by pressing a button instead of saying her name. It differs depending on the phone. If you've got something newer than an 8, it's going to say press side button. If you've got an 8 or older, it's going to say press home button. Either way, you can just press that button and then talk to Siri. And then the third one is allow Siri when locked. I think this one is important because some of the things I'm going to show you later, your phone is more apt than not to be locked. So you want to be able to talk to her regardless of the status of your phone. But those are what those three buttons are. A couple other things I want to show you as well. The next line down is language. And this will also help Siri to understand you. You can not only say you're speaking English, but you can tell her which accent or dialect you've got. So if I'm speaking English, but with an Irish accent, I can click here, which will help Siri understand me better. I'm going to click the back button here in the upper left to go back to where we were. The next one is how you can change what Siri sounds like when she's talking to you. I'll click on that row. And it's going to default to what you said you're speaking in terms of which language and dialect. But you can change down here what she sounds like. I'll click on a couple of them. I'm going to click on voice 1.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
That's the male version of Siri. I think the others are all female versions. We'll click one other one.
Hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
And
hi, I'm Siri. Choose the voice you'd like me to use.
So you can check out all the different voices. If you get tired of Siri sounding one way, you can change it and select a different voice. I'm going to click the back button. Let me pause for a second and see if there's any questions before I move on. Okay, so let's talk about ways to use Siri. And one of the ways that I think is very important for Siri and one of the best uses of Siri is when you're in your car. Because when you're in your car, hopefully you're not looking at your phone and touching your phone, but you still want to interact with your phone. And that's where Siri comes in. So let's go through a kind of a scenario here. I'm driving home and we're getting into hurricane season here in North Carolina, and the weather's starting to look bad and it's starting to rain really hard, winds coming up. So I want to check on the weather. All I have to do is just say, hey, Siri, what's the weather?
It's currently cloudy and 84 degrees. Expect thunderstorms starting tonight.
I'm going to stop her, but if I wasn't driving, you could see she also put some information on the screen, but she tells me everything I need to know. But let's assume she said weather's getting bad, high winds, rain, hail, flooding. So I need to let my wife know there's bad weather and I'm going to be home late. So I want to call her. I can use my phone, but again, I don't need to touch my phone. I can just say, hey, Siri, call Michelle.
Calling Michelle Yarbrough. Mobile.
I'm going to cancel that quickly so I don't really call her, but Normally it would go ahead and call her and I could tell her that the weather's bad and I'm going to be home late. If there's more than one Michelle, she will ask which one. Do you want to call Michelle Yarborough or Michelle Jones? If I'd said the full name, if there's more than one, then she would have used the right one. But if she's not sure, she'll ask you which one you're trying to call. Now, maybe I know that my wife is in a GetSetUp class and it's not going to answer her phone. So I could text her instead. I can do that by just saying, hey, Siri, send text to Michelle.
What do you want to say?
Hi, honey, period. Weather's getting really bad, period. Be home late.
Your message to Michelle says, hi, honey, weather is getting really bad. Be home late. Send it?
Cancel.
Okay, I won't.
So if I'd said send, she would have sent it. So you can send a text, again, using Siri, never taking your hands off the steering wheel, never touching your phone. Of course, your phone has to be where the microphone can hear your voice, so it can't be in your purse in the back seat. It needs to be preferably in a phone holder somewhere, but you could probably put it on the dashboard or somewhere else that's within earshot. Now, let's say I'm driving along and I'm starting to get really hungry, or maybe I need gas, or I need to stop at the pharmacy. You can have Siri help you with that as well. I could just say, hey, Siri, where's the nearest restaurant?
The closest one I see is Kaijo's on East Oak Island Drive in Oak Island. Does that one sound good?
Yes.
Perfect. I can call that location or get directions to it. What would you like me to do?
Get directions.
Getting directions to Kaijo's. Starting route to Kaijo's. Head west on Beaver Creek Drive southeast.
And one thing you notice there is the voice changed. So what Siri did, she got the information from me, and then she passed it off to the Maps app. And the Maps app would then take over from there, give me voice directions to get to Kaijo's without ever touching my phone again. So so she will use other apps if need be. I could have said, where's the nearest pharmacy? Where's the nearest gas station? She knows all sorts of different type of places that I may want to stop. You can use Siri for reminders. So I could say, Siri, remind me to call Michelle at 2 o'clock tomorrow. And she would set a reminder for me. Well, what's nice, you can also do location reminders. So because Siri has access to your GPS, she knows where you are. So if I'm out driving somewhere and I remember that the trash is going to be picked up tomorrow morning and I haven't taken it out yet, I could just say something like, hey, Siri, well, remind me to take out the trash.
Okay, add it to reminders.
So there she just added it to the reminder. If I'd said when I get home, when the GPS said that I was home, then she would have given me that reminder. Since I'm at home, that wouldn't have worked. So that wasn't a good example. But this is something that I do sometimes when I am in the car and I think of something I need to do when I get home. I can just tell her to remind me when I get home.